All right, folks. This is what I was going to show everybody at the end of my previous video, but I didn't. So here's another video. So in this one video here, I'm going to be talking about brainstorming, and what you see right here is my handwriting. Please excuse my handwriting. Of brainstorming. I mean, this is one example of brainstorming. And then I'm going to talk about essay structure, and then I also will talk about just a basic MLA format. And then we'll go to Canvas as well, just really quickly. And also, too, I want to mention a little bit about your multimodal projects that will be due at the end of the semester. Okay, so narrative writing. An event that was really fun in my life was going to Disney World. Took place about 9-10 years ago. My daughters were much younger. They're 14 and 17 now. So, I mean, this was a while ago, but it was a lot of fun. So if I were to share a story about Disney World, and if I wanted to brainstorm about it and kind of put my thoughts down on paper, I can do something like this. This is called mapping or webbing, where the big circle in the center is the topic, and anything that branches out from that, those stand for the main idea, the main ideas for each body in the paragraph. So whenever you look at this, this is a 5-paragraph essay here. I'm not saying that all your essays are 5-paragraph essays, because they certainly aren't, especially in college, especially whenever you start writing papers that are 10 pages plus. I mean, you're going to definitely be branching away from 5-paragraph essays, but this so happens to be 5 paragraphs because I have a circle in the center with my topic right there in the middle, Disney World. And then what I would talk about first, I would have a paragraph talking about going to the airport. And quite honestly, I could probably have a whole narrative about the airport events. But then we went there, we arrived to Orlando. But before going to Disney World, and of course my narrative would be in chronological order, we went to a place called Cocoa Beach. If you ever watched I Dream of Jeannie, that actually took place in Cocoa Beach. That was the setting for that show. But that was a long time ago. So in Cocoa Beach, we had some really good food, and of course, we went to the beach. So I would talk about those two things. Those would be the two major details that I would talk about under the main idea of the Cocoa Beach. So first paragraph, airport, just going to the airport, getting checked in. And getting on the airplane, and the kids being scared and all that stuff. And then going to Cocoa Beach, food, the beach, and then Disney World. We only, unfortunately, just went to 2 parks at Disney World. We went to Magic Kingdom and Epcot. So you see here, I could branch out even more, and I just haven't done that, but I could talk about other things concerning Magic Kingdom. And then Epcot. Epcot was really cool. So I could talk about certain aspects of Epcot, and then go into my concluding paragraph where I'm kind of summing things up. So this is what you're going to be doing with your narrative. This is also, in a sense, what you'll be kind of doing with pretty much any essay. So let me go ahead and go back to Canvas. So this is your week 2 in Canvas. And I'm going to explain all this here in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and look at the explanation of the essay structure. Go ahead and bring that up for you. This is something that I wrote several years ago. So with an essay, with any essay, basically, you are going to have an introduction of some sort. You'll have some sort of hook where it's a sentence used to get the attention of the reader. Um, Nice opening to an essay, of course. I mean, it could be something, it can be a quote. Of course, you may have to cite that. It could be an old saying. It could be just something interesting, just to grab the reader into your reading. And then you add a little bit of background information, something, of course, that's relevant to the topic. And then you include the thesis statement. Like I said, with your narrative can be an implied, or you can't have an implied thesis in your narrative essay, but you are going to definitely be working toward a clear, concise thesis statement, and you will have a prezi over just thesis statements later on. Your body of the essay of your paper is going to be a series of coherent paragraphs, one main idea for each body paragraph that will support the thesis statement. You'll have a topic sentence in which you are introducing the main idea and the major and minor details. So let's say the paragraph over Disney World. Where we're actually just talking, or would be talking about Disney World and talking about Magic Kingdom and Epcot. Those would be my major details, and anything that would fall underneath that would be considered minor details. I'm not going to count to see how many major details, minor details that you have. I'm just not going to do that. But as long as you have a paragraph, a main idea per paragraph, and you do have supporting details in there to beef up the paragraph, so to speak, then that's what I'm looking for. And transitions within the paragraph as well. You go from one detail to the next. And then, of course, too, going from one paragraph to another with ease. Here I write about the transitional statements. The transitional statement can be at the end of the paragraph, or it could be at the beginning. Some writers opt to include this at the end of the paragraph to prepare the reader of the main idea that will be coming next. Or you could just simply include it within your topic sentence. I don't have it up yet, but I will let you all know whenever I do. But I am going to include an example of a narrative essay, just so you have something to go by. The concluding paragraph is a place where you're just kind of wrapping up what you have said. It's a summarization of what you have mentioned. It's a reinstatement of the introduction, reinstatement of the thesis statement. And I'm going to show you a visual outline that's actually going to be on the next page. The conclusion can include another idea related to the topic of the essay. For my trip to Disney World, I might end it with that one trip to Disney World. A few years later down the road, we went to Florida a couple of more times. So that, of course, with a narrative, it might be a little bit more difficult, possibly. You might have to be a little bit more creative into branching out into another topic. But it kind of depends on what you're going to be talking about in your narrative, of course. Okay, so let's see here. And something I want to say too. The introduction and the conclusion can sometimes be the most difficult to write. So if you want to just go ahead and just start writing the body of the essay and then go and include the introduction and then the conclusion, you can certainly do that, because your thesis statement right here, that's a reflection of what's right here. So you might want to go ahead and put your thoughts on paper and then write your thesis statement. It's however you want to do it, whatever's easiest for you. Here's something visual. Here you have the structure of an essay. Introduce the topic, and then it goes down into something a little bit more specific. That right there, that would be your thesis statement. And then here's the body. Here we have, this would be one paragraph here, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a 6-paragraph essay right here. Each paragraph should have one main point. Here's your topic, and then you link those paragraphs. The transitional statements, you transition from one main idea or one main point to the next, and then to the next. Typically, you just kind of flip it over right here at the conclusion. You sum up your argument, or you may or may not have really an argument with your narrative. You basically reinstate your thesis statement right here. And then you just branch out. Here, perhaps mention water implications, future directions. So this is in your week 2. I hope this will help. Writing is so much fun. I love to write. Love to explain my thoughts on paper. Writing is so nice because it's written there on paper, and you can always go back and you can change it later on. It's like it's an ongoing thing. It's really fun, and I hope that you have fun with this. Let's go ahead and look. All right, I was just going to talk to you just briefly about the MLA structure. I'm going to go ahead. I know a lot of you all are probably using Google Docs, and that's perfectly fine. I love how Google Docs automatically saves. I was told that Word does that now. I wasn't really aware of that, but go ahead and use Google Docs if you want to. I'm going to show you just a basic format using the Word document. Okay, so I have a Word document right here. And so say if I'm about to get ready, write a paper, this is blank, I'm going to go ahead and just get this ready. This is automatically set at Calibri. I am going to set it now at Times New Roman, 12-point font. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Let me see if I can. Okay, that didn't quite work. All right, I'm just going to move this out a little bit so everybody can see it. All right, I'm going to type my name. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put it in double spacing. And then I'm going to type my name. And then the next thing that you would write is the instructor's name. English 10, 13, section 50. Today is the 9th, I believe. Notice here how I'm putting the date first, the month next, and then the year. Your title needs to be centered. So I'm going to come up here in Word. It's located right here. I'm just going to put just title. Hopefully you'll come up with something a little bit more creative than that. I'm just doing that for instructional purposes right now, just to show you where everything's at. Then I go ahead and I put it back to left alignment. One other thing that I need to do for MLA, and this is going to be for all your papers right here, Times New Roman 12-point font, 1-inch margins, title is centered. You need to go ahead and click on Insert and come over here to Page Number. Click on Page Number. It automatically comes up as a footer. Go ahead and click on Header. It's going to be in the upper right-hand corner. Go ahead and click on OK. Come over here, click on this. Okay, good. Okay, a couple of times, and the cursor is going to be to the left of the number. Go ahead and type in your last name. What I do right here, and I just always need to do this. You don't necessarily have to. I go ahead and I change it to Times New Roman 12-point font, so it will